Hey everybody, how's it going? The Grey Knights are out. I got my copy of the Codex, this kit, the Grey Knight Power Armor kit, and the Grey Knight Terminator kit in the other day. I read over, I would say, much of this Codex. You know, all the fluff parts in the beginning and all of the unit entries that I could within that time period. I didn't read everything, but I pretty much got the gist of the army down. I'm going to do some more in-depth reading and maybe even come up with an army list or two for fun. But anyway, I thought I would do my little unboxing video for this kit because they're new out there. You may be wondering what's inside the kit, especially for you non-Grey Knight players out there. Like, I plan to make a Grey Knights force, I do. But even for you non-Grey Knight guys out there, and gals, I guess, bit stores that sell bits will undoubtedly have these things up for bit orders soon. And there are some cool bits in here that I'll draw your attention to. Now, this powered armor kit is meant to make every powered armored entry in the Codex. It's not like a Space Marine kit where you get the tactical kit or the Devastator kit or whatever. This one is meant to make everything. It makes the strike squads, it makes the interceptor squads, the purifier squads, the purgation squads. You can probably even make, if you wanted to, your own Brotherhood champion. So, with that in mind, that's what there's one kit out of Power Armor, guys. Now, while the helmet looks a little different from the, well, I'll show you that, a little bit different than the standard Grey Knight helmet from Power Armor that you know from the pewter guys. The pewter guys can definitely fit in just fine in terms of look with these guys, no problem. What you get, aside from the two sprues underneath this, is an instruction booklet, which is always handy to read, especially if it's your first time building this type of a kit. And 5 bases, because you can make 5 guys. Now, there are no decal sheets in this kit, and there's none in the Terminator kit either. So, there's no decals to speak of. Will there be decals in the future from some other, let's say, second wave plastic kit? Or is there one in the Dread Knight? Well, I don't know. I don't have a Dread Knight. I'm going to say no to there one being in a Dread Knight. And I'm going to say I don't know for the future. I'd be willing to bet that if Forge World doesn't have one already, they'll probably have a Grey Knight decal sheet out in the future. When? I don't know, but they probably will. That being said, let's get right into the sprues. So you get 2, and it makes 5 guys, like I said. So we'll start on the left. I'm going to show you everything and talk a little bit about certain things here. You get some legs, which are suitably ornate. You get, this is the silencer, this Gatling type of weapon here with the front. You get 2 side cannons, actually, which is interesting. And up above somewhere, where is it? There it is. You get the incinerator. So you get all of their special type weapons for these squads. All of the arms end at the wrist, which is why you see that, with the exception of the ones for the special weapons like this. But all of the other arms end at the wrist. And then you got your Nemesis Force Halberd, and you got Nemesis Force Halberd there. You got Nemesis Force Sword with, you know, double-handed. You got Nemesis Force Sword sticking into a Plague Bear's head. And these weapons have different effects in game. There's a difference between a Nemesis Force Sword and a Force Halberd and Force Hammer and all that. You also get hands. And that one hand is holding a demon's head that was severed, which is pretty cool. Purity seals. See the storm bolters there. These are the clips for the storm bolters. I haven't done a count of how many arms you get to see if you could possibly utilize, let's say, 1 arm for your own like conversion needs and still be able to make the entire kit. I imagine you can. I just haven't checked for sure. The legs, like I said, we have 2 ornate shoulder pads here. I think these are meant to be your Justicar's shoulder pads. You get the 4 of the 5 interceptor backpacks. The 5th one's on the other sprue. These are cool. I want to say real quickly, if you play a Space Marine chapter that's aligned to the Mechanicum heavily, or utilizes Lost Tech or Archaeotech or Experimental Tech, you could paint these up to look like anti-grav rods and use them as Assault Marine jump packs if you wanted to. And then you don't even have to worry about magnetizing. You could just use them as normal normal regular backpacks if you wanted to, and you can kind of get away with it because they don't look that different, except for the rod sticking out. Anyway, more Force Swords and stuff like that. So that's this sprue. The second sprue has 2 more legs to give you the 5 legs. This one's got a little tabard on it. The 5th Interceptor backpack. And you got your 5 normal backpacks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Right there. They look a little bit different from your standard Space Marine backpacks, but not much. And then you got 6 torso fronts, which is interesting because you make 5 guys. So that's pretty cool. More Nemesis Force Swords. You get a Nemesis Thunderhammer thing right here. And you get the Nemesis Warding Staff right here. And then you get the backs for the fronts. Now I like these backs. As you can see, you get 5 of them. Where's the 5th one? There it is. And these bags look like Psychic hoods to me, like you would see from the Pewter Librarian models. So you could definitely take one of these backs with a normal front and make your own Powered Armor Librarian for your own Space Marines force. That's pretty cool. So I'm not saying buy a kit to do that, but when they become bid ordered, that's definitely an attractive option. You can make a very cool, dynamic looking Librarian for your own chapter that way. Let's see what else we got here. You get the helmets, so you get another like frag and crack grenade stuff. And you get 3 helmets here, 1, 2, 3. You can see these knightly helmets look a little bit more knightly, I guess, than the Grey Knight's older helmet from the Pewter kit. Well, not the Pewter Blister, I should say. And then you get 2 more. Where'd they go? There we go. 2 more helmeted heads here. Each one looks slightly different from the others. And then you get 2, if I can show you the faces, 2 unhelmeted heads to do with what you wish. So you get 7 heads to make your squad. Obviously, extra heads can be used elsewhere in an army or even for other armies. And then you get these Stormbolters again. So that's the, and here's the shoulder pads, I forgot, the regular shoulder pads. Each one looks a little different. And that's the kit, pretty much. So what do I think about this kit? I know I give you kind of a rushed look, but there's a lot to cover here, and some stuff are repetitive, like the Force Swords and the Stormbolters and all that. Well, I like the Stormbolter arms. I definitely am a fan of that type of look, and will probably use one for my own purposes. They're a lot like the Angelus bolt gun arms from the same regard, in the fact that it ends at the wrist and you put the hand on. What else is there I could say? I kind of lost my train of thought. The detail is there on the plastic kits. They're very detailed, and that's both a good and a bad thing. It's bad, well, it's good for obvious reasons, and it's bad because a new player may feel a little intimidated about painting them up. Because I can guarantee you, I mean, these stuff looks cool. They look very cool, very ornate, that somebody new to the hobby may want to pick them up. And may feel a little intimidated about painting them, in terms of getting all the detail down. Other than that, I really like these guys. I do. I like the kit. There's a lot of conversion potential here for your own armies. I've mentioned 2 things already. And like I said, this kit is meant to make the 4 powered armored squads that you could take, the 4 different units in the Codex. One thing I would suggest doing, unless you're making purifiers, because they have alabaster or white, depending on how you want to paint it, portions of their armor. But for the other 3, I would highly suggest magnetizing the backpacks. If you're not going to make them into purifiers, magnetize the backpacks. In the event you want to run an Interceptor squad, you have the ability without having to buy a whole new squad. Magnetizing weapons gets a little bit trickier, not necessary, really. Especially because you can, aside from the silencer, you can you can, I think you can still buy the Incinerator Grey Knight and Power Armored guy. I know you can still buy, for now, the Psycan and Power Armored guy, the Blister, the Pewter Blister guys. So I don't know, but you could do that. But definitely I recommend magnetizing the backpacks. If you want to run them as Purgation, you just have the regular backpack on. If you want to run them as Strike Force guys, have the regular backpack on. If you want to run them as Interceptors, pop the backpacks off for the Interceptor backpacks. It just makes it, you might have to spend a little more money on magnets if you don't have them, but the magnets can really help you in terms of saving money with squads. They're great for Assault Marines or regular Space Marines for their backpacks to sub out, and it'll be good for this kit here as well. Well, anyway, that's all I really want to say about this unboxing. I like the kit, lots of conversion potential, and even for just what it's intended for, which is making these Grey Knight guys, I like it, and it should be fun to make some up. Anyways, that's pretty much it. I forget what they retail for. I normally tell you. I'll probably put in the video description section because I didn't remember to look before doing this. But that's it for this box, and the next unboxing I'm going to do will be the Grey Knight Terminator box whenever I do that. So, take it easy.